Good evening, everybody. I'm a minute early. I'm early, guys. No, but tonight's episode is going to be about heaven. What weird thoughts did you have? I had a lot of weird questions. Growing up. Whatever. I figure what I thought heaven was going to be. And so there was a lot of things and, whatever going in my mind that I thought, what? I'm going to find out. I'm going to ask questions. I want everybody else to answer these. So I was reading this website right here called What Does Heaven Look Like? Here are 10 possibilities. Now, a lot of them were obvious ones, that other people thought about at one point. And, my vision was the typical, angels, Jesus, God, and whoever else was up there, Moses. And of course, we all look at it as up there, heaven is up. We look up and pray. People bow their heads, obviously. But what are your thoughts? There's a lot of good ideas on this website. On this thing right here. So here's what I thought was kind of creepy. Was this low percentage right here? But again, this was 7 years ago. But for it to be 68% of Americans believe in heaven, that's ridiculously low. I thought it would have been higher than that, which it was at one point. In 2003, it was up to 85%. So that was kind of creepy to actually think about that. So as I go here, what was your thoughts? I thought it was kind of, like I said, with angels and things of that nature in heaven. My light looks different. But, that's because I'm with my camera. Sorry. So, what was your thoughts in heaven, about heaven? Like I said, mine were basically the typical ones that you would actually kind of think heaven was like. Things of, hey, this is what I thought, this is what, a lot of people were probably thinking. But a lot of things were, typical answers. Like I said, 68% believes in heaven, which is, I don't know, might have gone up now, but and of course, and it even is whatever peace gives you, whatever gives you peace is a good thing, because obviously we all picture Jesus, we all picture, which I wondered this, if anybody ever pictures desert. Because obviously Jesus was he was here on earth, out in the Egyptian, Jerusalem, locations where there was a lot of mountainous areas, of desert looking areas. But then again, we weren't there at that time. Excuse me. And back then it might have been different, we don't know. But of course we have what people say on the Bible and what they explained at that time. So I'm going to go to the Facebook and oops, I don't know how that happened. See if anybody's on. But anyway, so I just thought it was weird that people would actually think differently, and I just wanted to get what people's thoughts were on that view, because it's always an interesting topic. Because I know that everybody has their own thoughts, everybody has their own visions, but I just wanted to see if there was something crazy that you thought it was, because I don't know, maybe when you get to heaven you had your own donkey or you had your own horse. But it does mention, from what I remember, everybody has their own home. already, like Jesus makes a place for you, things like that. But hey, you never know, because there's a lot of things that people come up with, ideas that people came up with, or just crazy images that people thought about. So let me go back to that page. Hold on. But yeah, it was like I was gonna play this video, but it wasn't working. But like I also like there was thoughts that I had was like, did you eat in heaven, or do you sleep in heaven? Is there night and day in heaven? And obviously I could probably find that if I read the Bible all the way through. But I read bits and pieces of it when I get the verse of the day on my phone. And I just always wondered that, what other ideas other people had. So as I look at the site, there was people that that had their own visions, what they thought heaven was like, or what they felt what heaven was like. Like right here, for example, this woman I don't remember where this says she was. Anyways, it says Crystal McVie died for 9 minutes on December 10th, 2009, according to Christian Post. But when she opened her eyes, it wasn't a room full of doctors she saw. Rather, it was heaven. Now, it's crazy because and I always know that, and it's crazy that it's sometimes, it could happen, but it's always in a hospital, or it's always, I don't know, it's always in a situation like that. But anyway, so her image of heaven had angels, God, images she can't explain. Okay, and that's typical. We all hear this different stories of people having their visions come to them in a traumatic incident, or just had surgery, or whatever the situation was. But and I always wondered that, because does everybody go through a situation? Not all the time, but like when it does happen, do they all have that image? Obviously, God gives us an image of what He wants us as individuals to experience. Like, okay, for example, if I was reading a passage or a verse in the Bible, now it's just like reading a book. You read a book, and somebody else can get a different image in their head of what they think it looks like, and then you tell somebody that, but then they're like, "Oh, I didn't think about that," or they, they had the same thing. They were thinking, "Oh yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about." Okay, and that could be the same case with when people have their visions of heaven, because I remember having it wasn't about heaven, but I had a sleep paralysis thing one time. It was probably 6 years ago now. Maybe no, 7 years ago. It was 2013. Anyways, I was living in an apartment here in Holland, and my brother had left for work, and I was sleeping in my bed. I think I was working third shift at the time or something. I don't know, or I had a day off. Of course, I always have days off. Just joking. But anyways, so I remember sleeping, and I remember looking up, and I saw my room, because I remember what the room looked like. So I remember looking up, and I saw the bedroom. I saw my TV sitting on the table over there, but it felt so real that it was like, I felt awake, because it was, how like when you're sleeping but you can still hear things, and it wakes you up. So that's what I thought happened, and but then I looked up again, and it was just so crazy, because there was a lady. It was long black hair, and I just remember seeing a white face and black eyes. And I looked up, and she started coming towards me like it was being held down. I was like, I couldn't move, and so I was like, and it felt like it lasted for so long, and but it was, I don't know, probably maybe 5, 10, 15 seconds. But it was crazy. I mean, it was. But then I woke up, and I'm like, did that really just happen? Did that seriously just happen right now? But that's never happened to me since. And I thought that was a weird situation. But obviously, I read online that sleep paralysis happens to a lot of people, unfortunately. Well, at that time, I didn't really know what it was, but then I found out. So, but here's the thing: when people have these visions, is that the same thing? Are they having sleep paralysis? But this is God's way of saying, "I'm going to send you that vision so you can focus better." So that's one thing that I always wondered about, like when people are sleeping and they want to look at, not look at, but they have those visions, and I don't know. I think it's creepy. But well, not the heaven part, but the sleep paralysis part. That was just unbelievably weird. But I don't know. I think if I was ever to have that again, I think I'm going to try to record it, which is going to be hard because you never know when it's going to happen. Because it just happened to me out of the blue. I didn't watch anything before. As a matter of fact, I think I was watching Fresh Prince before I fell asleep, or before I nodded off and took a nap. But it was crazy. I still to this day, like I said, it reminded me of that one lady from The Ring. The one coming out of the TV. Was that The Ring? Yeah, it was. Coming from The Ring. That's exactly what she looked like, but the face was different. Like she had the long hair, the white dress. But I remember too seeing her hands, and she had like these long little black nails sticking off. It was creepy, and that was the first time that ever happened to me like that. Check something real quick. And there's a lot of like things that people like if they're obviously in a traumatic accident, like this one, he died in a head-on collision. Before reawakening, though, he said he was transported to heaven, and many of his family members were there. See, that's another thing too that I thought about. Does your family members greet you at the gate? Okay, well that'd be awesome. Because there's a lot of people in our family within the last 15, 20 years, like, well, pretty much since 1989, that I remember passing away, that I would love to meet again because we miss them, obviously. So, but that's another one that I always thought, of course, everybody thinks about that one. Let's see. That typical, here's another one, a typical, what's it called? Angels in heaven, angels in clouds. And that's another big one that everybody obviously thinks about when it's that time. And so that's something, a big one that people think about as well. Angels in clouds, and and there's a show called Paranormal Caught on Camera, and they've had videos of in the early episodes of stuff like that, catching stuff flying through the clouds. And so I keep hitting that thing. And so that's a big one that I've noticed. Now, this actually reminded me of that. Okay, it says during this time he saw puffy clouds, came in contact with an angel, and heard beautiful sounds. Okay, sweet. That's awesome. That would be awesome to hear. Now, in Revelations, I think it was Revelations. I'm not too perfect on my Bible knowledge, but I've read some of it. But trumpet sounds. Now, there's been videos circulating YouTube for years, probably since maybe 2005 or 6. But there's been videos talking about trumpet sounds in the air, and you figure out, oh my gosh, what the heck is that? I mean, I haven't heard anything here in our area, but look it up. Put if you haven't heard any of those, type in trumpet sounds in the sky or trumpet sounds coming from the sky. So you'll find it. And so if you ever hear it first, because it's creepy if you've never heard of anything like that. But that's the thing too that people were, they are speculating of, oh, this is where it's coming from. This is what they think it is. Okay, yeah, we know that. Could be coming from God. We don't know. Could be a scientific situation going on that they can explain it. Somebody's saying it's coming from the sky because of, I don't know, something up in the space. But I don't know. I think that one's kind of tricky on that one because we don't know. We don't know where it's coming from, and I've never really heard a straight answer from that one. So let's see here. Now, if you I think that's the last one. Of course, if you ever seen that movie, This Is the End. In the movies, they at the end they make it to heaven because they defeat Satan, and they make it to heaven. They get brought up in heaven, and I don't remember who was in the movie, but it was a lot of big name people. And so what caught me off guard, obviously, was the Backstreet Boys dancing and singing at the end. No, it's a hilarious movie, but it's just like in the film, in the movies, everybody wants to put their own visions of what they think heaven's going to be like, and that's fine. That's cool. I mean, I want to know. I want to get everybody's input on it, because I even thought about, well, maybe you're writing a movie and somebody actually goes to heaven and sees all this, and I'm told to bring it down here to warn people of, if you don't want to be in this, or if you do want to be in this, you need to straighten it up, because maybe we all need that. So definitely a second look. See, this is one right here. Heaven on earth is something that there's nothing on this earth that even resembles heaven. I'm not even going to go there with that one. I mean, yeah, there's beautiful pictures, beautiful scenery. Like I said, I'm a big astronomer person. I like looking at the stars. And if you get a good view, good shot, great, awesome. But that still doesn't even compare to heaven. So I don't even go for that one. But of course, you got to read the Bible. You have to, because where else are you gonna get the truth, the answers? The Bible, where it originally started, where it came from. That's my thoughts. That's my view. If you don't like it, I don't care. So my views, yes, it's coming from the Bible. That's how I was taught. That's how I learned. Well, I grew up Catholic. Nothing against Catholics. I respect their religion. I have nothing against them. Like I said, I still would follow it. I would still, because that's what I grew up on. And I look back at it and think, oh, well, wait. Basically, I kind of pick and choose almost, like what I want to learn from, that whatever week or whatever. And so I almost kind of look at it as getting it from different views, because everybody's gonna, like I said, everybody's gonna have their own view. So it's just a big thought. So, well, I got 10 more minutes. If anybody had got it on, which I haven't checked in a while, so let me check. If you're not able to view tonight, I'm gonna put this on YouTube, which I know like I said. Oh, hold on, I gotta get to that screen. Let me go here. Okay, I see Marco. He says there's a book there called Heaven Divine. A Christian lady, I believe, says that God took her to heaven to show what it looked like to let other Christians know. I didn't read about it, but I heard it was good. It's a good one. I think it sounds familiar. I think I've heard of that one. Let's see. Oh, look at my screen. It's all going up weird. How do I? Why? Oh, never mind. So definitely. Oh, and Javi says I always picture the afterlife like a movie defending your life. First, you have to go through judgment. Yep, which is a good, very organized and corporate setting. Then you make it through. It's whatever you picture. Heaven as a personally with all your family and friends that has passed away waiting for you. Also, I think heaven would have awesome restaurants. Javi, that's actually something I thought about too. Was the restaurant, like food, not so as much restaurants, but I always thought about food. Like what type of food would be in heaven? And is it endless food? You know what I mean? Like, do we actually get to eat and not be full? Like, do we eat whatever we want, whatever's available? Do we actually get to ask, hey, I want an apple today, or I want peach pie, or whatever it is, whatever you picture, and it appears. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that's a pretty good thoughts right there. Thanks for sharing. Yes, so I think that's a lot of what pretty much a lot of people probably picture is this is what I think heaven is, and this is what I believe it is, and that's fine. Everybody's gonna have their own thoughts, and we like to learn from others, especially stuff like that, because it's a very interesting subject. So like I said, a lot of people have their own visions, things. Maybe they went through something and it woke them up because they said, look at my hair. They said that, God spoke to them in a certain way that told them, hey, you need to, do some adjustments here and start doing things a different way, which I just realized my thing is going down. So, yeah, I mean, I believe that a lot of people haven't probably gone through that, woke them up. And that could be why people change their life around, because they finally get woken up by, and it obviously could be what they've been through. So let's continue to help each other out and do things for each other and enjoy life, because there's going to be a time when unfortunately we're not here, and that's where the heaven thing comes from, because what if and this is a big what if, and I'm sure a lot of other people has thought of this. What if heaven wasn't real this whole time? I believe it is, but I'm not going to go that direction, because I'd rather believe in something and then and have it not exist than to not believe in it and then end up having it exist and you can't go. So simple facts there. So, all right, I got 6 more minutes because like I said, I'm late tonight. We got Lauren on tonight. Hello, Lauren. Thanks for joining. She says, "Do you know Jesus explains Garden of Eden as paradise? I think that's how heaven is going to be, so beautiful and sin free." Exactly, and that's another thing that I thought about too was Muzzies. That would be cool if Muzzies was there, but yeah, Lauren, I thought about that too because I always thought about like it being so full of like green trees and all this green, kind of like a new, pretty much a new earth, and but it's filled with everything good, and so that's a good one too. Oh, I'm not even on that screen. That's a good one to look at it. Good way to look at it too. Um, I didn't see, and that's a thing too that I thought about too was maybe we don't ever need to ask for anything because it's already going to be there. And Amy, hello Amy, thanks for joining. Amy says, "Well, I know to say it, or well, I've known it to say, and it says in heaven, you will never be hungry nor thirst, and it also says there will be 7 years of rapture before the second coming of God." True, and that's another reason. That's another thing that I said to you was um, that there will be, of course, obviously, there you go. We won't have to be worrying about food or water or Pepsi. Now that would be cool if there was Pepsi in heaven. No, but definitely that's a good thoughts right there. Thank you, Macaulay. Hey, what up, dude? Guitar Center with a Chick-fil-A. Good, that's a good one. That would be cool. That would be nice. But you said also, my mom said she's seen a light in her room and an angel wings covering her face during cancer. And that's another thing too that I thought, Macaulay, was people that are going through a situation. And like I said, unfortunately, we had someone close to that we grew up with pass away this what was it, yesterday? I'm not going to say her name yet because I don't want to say anything yet because before we get a hold of the family members. But anyways, yeah, we had someone pass away, but I mean, there's people that they go through that what they call the tunnel, the light at the end of the tunnel, where they see a light up ahead. And that's a typical analogy of what people, or not an analogy, a typical vision of what people say they see. And that's fine. I mean, that'd be awesome if everybody goes, to heaven and we all get to see you again. And that would be perfect. Because like everybody's saying, you won't have to worry about anything. You don't have to worry about, when's my next meal, or is there going to be any more water? Because it's always going to be available. So that's cool. Awesome comments. So, let me go back to that page real quick. So, this is the thing too, is stuff like this, Now, I want people to understand about the coronavirus too. Is that I understand that people again are getting frustrated because the states are closed or locked down still and blah blah blah. But we want to get back to normal. We all do. We obviously, but this right here, if you could see this picture, it needs to open your eyes up. Because unless you want to already join this, which would be awesome, that to eventually one day get to that point, but if you want to live your life and you don't want to already end up there or 6 feet under, you need to chill out and just what's the word, continue to allow this virus to die out. Because if we continue, and myself included, if we continue to complain about things, which I've had a couple people tell me to stop complaining, which I need to stop doing. Thanks, Pat Fowler. But which is true. I need to stop complaining. I understand that. And I'm over here complaining about gas prices and these people protesting and stuff like that. That's their own thing. I'm done. I'm done complaining. I'm done going after people and saying you need to stop doing this and blah blah. I'm gonna try to live my life. If they want to go do that, let them go do that. That's their decision. I'm not getting into it. I'm not the one doing it, so why should I care? So that's one thing that I need to stop doing. And so from this day forward, I'm going to do my best to stop complaining, live my life, run my business, help people when I can, and just live my life because I'm here for God. God has given me this and blessed me with the family that I have. And so I want them to know that I love all of you and that I'm here for you if you ever need me. Anybody, I don't care. If I can't do it, I'll let you know. If I'm doing something else, hey, I'll be there in a few. Whatever. So just know that I'm here for you. I don't care. And because it's the thing is that we got to help each other out. I've had plenty of people help me throughout my life. And we've all been through situations where we regret in our lives. Things that, if I can go back in time, I would do it differently. And so we all have that moment, those moments, or whatever it is. But we got to get past this. We all got to be there for each other because you never know when the next time you'll see them. So I would like to end this episode tonight and thank everybody for joining. So everybody have a blessed night. I love you all, and you take care, and rest in peace. I'm probably going to mess his name up, but Aubrey, the guy in Georgia. I'm sorry. Can't remember his last name, but you know who I'm talking about. And may justice be served on that. Unfortunately, that happened. But definitely justice has to be served on that one. So, amen to that. And you guys have a good night.